All right, let's go over this warm-up question, which I called a lesson quiz. So you're given f of x equals x to the third minus 8x. Sketch a graph that tells us to think in even or odd degrees. So if you think about the even or odd degree, so this side, where is the even or odd degree? So you're looking for the smallest number up here, and that is in blue. So is that an even or an odd? 3 is an odd number. So you need to think back to your easiest odd one that you know, and that would be x to the first. If you draw a sketch of that, it starts down and it ends up, going from left to right. It starts down, ends up. Okay. This next part says, what is the leading coefficient? The leading coefficient is in front. It leads, right? What goes in front there? Is it a positive or a negative? Okay, and well, there is no negative, so the answer is it's going to be a positive. Okay. If it was negative, that would have flipped our arrows. But because it's positive, it's going to stay just like this. So let's go ahead and sketch a graph. Okay, x to the third is cubic. So let's get those arrows first. We said that starts down, ends up. Okay, one other bit of information is, what is the constant? What is there a plus or minus over here? Well, there is. You just have to put your math glasses on, and it's actually a plus 0. What that tells me is that the graph has to go through this point. Okay, and right now we're just making rough sketches. So I know that the arrows aren't going to switch. It's got to go through that dot. So you can kind of, let's do a pencil. Do something like, I don't know, I think there might be a mountain. We'll see. Okay, so there is sketching a graph. Let's think about this symmetrically graphically. Let's double check that I graphed it right. You can have 2 ways. Let's do it. Let's create a table of values. Table of values. Okay. Let's just see. -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. If I put in -2 in there for x, I get -2 to the third power is -8. And -2 times -8 would be positive 16. So that would give me a positive 8. So that graph would be kind of like -2, 8. -1. -1 to the third power is -1 times -1 times -1, so it's -1, and -1 times -8 gives me a positive 8, so I'm going to get a positive 7. Something like right there, okay? 0. 0 to the third power is 0. -8 times 0 is 0, so you get 0. And that's why I have that middle point in the middle. And then 1 to the third power is 1. 1 times -8 is -8, and 1 minus 8 is -7. So that'd be like something like right there. And then 2 to the third power is 8. 2 times -8 is -16. So 8 minus 16 is -8. So it'd be something like there. Okay. And if you have a graphing calculator, or you can use Desmos with your phone for now, 8 to the third power minus 8x. I'm going to go to top left, y equals. Clear this out. X to the third, you can just type in the variable 3 times, minus 8x. Let's double check that that was the correct problem. and then I'm just going to press graph. And then there's my graph. Okay? Alright, prove to us that that's what I got. So let's go back. Okay, so now they want us to tell if we're graphing this symmetrically. Okay, so if I kind of put in purple, let's see if we can, is this side over here going to be just like this side? And I call it my vocabulary word is, I call it a tree. Is there a tree growing out of here? There is a tree. And on this side, with this one, the corners, well, in this one you have like a mountain, right? And over here you have another symmetrical mountain. So I would say that the answer for this one is, it is a odd, symmetrically, because it's symmetrical about a point, right? The green quadrants can be rotated to the other green quadrants. Let's write that. It's odd because it is symmetrical about the origin. To make that super clear, the origin right there. Okay? Remember, if it was even, if it was supposed to be even, it would have been symmetrical about the y-axis, the line. Okay, symmetry algebraically. Okay, this was yesterday's lesson. How do you do that? Well, you basically need to sub negative x for every x. Okay, that's what we need to do. And if I have this problem here, so I have f of x, and every x value, I'm going to put in negative x. Okay, so I'm going to put in negative x, negative x, negative x. Okay, and we're just going to simplify this. We're simplifying the right side. Negative x times negative x times negative x. Negative times negative is a positive, positive times a negative is negative. So negative 8x cubed. And this will become positive 8x. Okay, I recognize that it's pretty close to the original. So if I factor out a negative, or negative 1 is the greatest common factor, right? Negative 1 times something equals, above in blue, negative x, negative 8x to the third. And that would be x to the third. Negative 1 times something equals a positive 8x. This is negative 8x. Okay, so then you have this. F of x equals x to the third minus 8x. You have that here. And so here I'm doing my substitution. So really you have the opposite of the original problem, which is f of x. And if it's the opposite, then the answer is odd. Okay, and then the last part is, what's the end behavior? So again, let's do colors. Here in blue, this will always be the same, always. Okay, let's use our graph up here. And basically just what that means is, as you go towards the right, where's the graph finishing? This is my end behavior sentence. Okay. Well, as you're going towards the right, the graph finishes up. Up is positive infinity on the y-axis, or the f of x. As x approaches negative infinity, so as you're going towards the left, where's the graph finish? It's finishing down. That would be negative infinity. Okay?
So that's our lesson quiz.